So we get our first look at the weapons, but more importantly is these prestige attachments are also being included here. For the M15 mod, we get the prestige attachment, the firing mod. It says subsonic NATO rounds prevents firing signatures from appearing on the mini-map. Improves damage range inflicted flinch at the expense of bullet velocity. So that one doesn't seem particularly crazy because you just can run a suppressor and get the same effect without sacrificing the bullet velocity. For the MXR-17, we're going to get a magazine, converts it to a different type of weapon. It's semi-automatic, so it'll be more similar to like a DMR probably. Faster to aim and reload, reworked recoil, and more damage fall off. Okay, so maybe not like that. It'll just be a semi-auto. Okay, so that's kind of like a true aftermarket part. I'm still not a huge fan of having to prestige the gun to get access to these. I know when the game launches, I'll probably have a video covering these, so you know which ones are the most worth to prestige, so you can get that specific attachment. Let's see here. So Peacekeeper, we're going to get a stock. Retains the expected recoil improvements of the standard control stock with additional improvements to recoil stabilization and tack stand spread while taking a small hit to handling. That one probably not worth it. X9 Maverick, we get a barrel. Pulse load plus barrel, a short and lightweight barrel to drastically improve all facets of handling. Far more stable when in air and handling with a significant bonus to mobility, all at moderate cost of damage range. So some trade-offs there, definitely something to consider. We got the DS-20. We're going to have the Mirage Tandem Launcher for the underbarrel. Internal upgrade to the integrated launcher to fire 2 powerful explosive shells, probably instead of 1. That one's just like a straight up buff. So a little bit weird there, but you'd have to equip that. AK-27, we're going to get the enhanced cycle system. Eliminates all horizontal recoil while firing with an improved fire rate at the expense of muzzle velocity and vertical recoil. So you could probably combine that with the vertical recoil attachment and some ammo to offset the muzzle velocity, and then it would probably be insane, especially the horizontal recoil can get a little bit more wonky, and that's harder to control versus pulling down. Depending on how strong it is, you really only struggle to hit people off of head glitches if they're just like only the head peeking over the little ledge. So the Ride-In for SMGs, we're going to have a stock attack spread improved. Okay, so similar to the other one. The Dravik, we're going to have a laser. Overclocked laser provides stronger bonus to most mobility handling with the smaller bonus to damage range at the expense of recoil control. So that one would be make it more like a barrel stuff weapon. For the Razor, we get a Sidewinder barrel, aftermarket barrel that provides a massive bullet velocity improvement with a significant improvement to all aspects of recoil. So this one makes it more like a medium range gun instead of an SMG. Interesting. They haven't gone really crazy on any of these except for maybe the one that we saw earlier. Carbon 57 magazine, improved extended mag that increases ammo capacity and drastically improves base aiming, sprinting movement speed at the cost of damage range. Okay, I guess it depends on how big that mag is actually. MPC 25, we're going to get a shortened barrel to drastically improve recoil and provide a far more stable firing experience. Damage and range is reduced, but increased headshot multiplier keeps firepower competitive. I don't know about that one though. Doesn't sound like crazy good. RK9 says Iron Lung hand stop, stackable attachment that improves the fire rate through reducing burst cooldown. So basically the time in between the burst is shorter. Significantly reduces recoil when firing, but removes the ability to auto burst. So you can't just hold the trigger and it'll burst. You'll have to actually spam it. Provides flinch resistance, but loses ability to hold breath. You really shouldn't be holding your breath with this type of gun anyway, so not really much of a loss there. The M10 Breacher shotgun, you get a stock that offers strong improvement, walking speed, also dive and slide fire spread. All right, harms damage, range, and charge time. So if you don't kill them in the one shot at that point blank range, maybe you're kind of dead because usually that delay is pretty long in the charge time if it's going to be longer. Echo 12. Specialized extended barrel to provide a massive improvement to bullet velocity with a slight improvement to ADS spread and additional improvements to recoil. So a lot of these are like, not a huge deal. So I think for a lot of people, that's kind of better to lean on that side, because if they are on the side where a lot of them are broken, then it's like, oof, you kind of are forced to prestige a gun and then level it up twice. It doesn't really sound fun to do that. You're kind of just gatekeeping content. The Akita shotgun, this one looks different. This one does a stock, provides a significant bonus to both mobility and handling at the expense of recoil and spread. So you just got to get closer, but you'll be able to get closer faster because the mobility and handling are better. MK78 LMG, heat shield belt feed, takes longer to overheat and improves the mobility in addition to removing movement penalties when firing, improves recoil, but has a significantly longer overheat penalty, improves hip spread, but incurs an ADS. So this is just like a modification. XM325 LMG, motion strike laser, fashion your LMG with a mobile turret through an improved laser that massively reduces all hipfire spread and increases damage range. Drastically slows your movement speed to a crawl when firing. Okay, that's almost like the Titan sounding like, I don't know. Maybe I'm misremembering. M8, we're going to have a stock, improves the spread, tactical stance, additional improvement in handling. I guess if you get the tactical stance dialed in, you can make it so it's like a one burst. You just walk around tac stancing people. Warden 308 marksman rifle. We're going to have a fire mod. It removes firing delay and improves fire rate at the expense of recoil and damage range. So it might be a little bit hard to control because the recoil will actually climb. Or maybe, I don't know what the fire rate is. Probably slow of a marksman rifle and only has 8 rounds. Probably not that crazy unless the damage range penalty is huge. The Nova line, hand stop, steady your aim for longer with an increased control and mobility with enhanced grip, unleashes your true marksmanship. I don't think you really need, if you're holding your breath that long, you're hard scoping, which isn't terrible, but I mean, I'm not sure how long that'll increase it for. A lot of times, if you do the perk to hold your breath longer, the iron lungs or whatever it is, that usually accomplishes that. I don't know if this game has it. I don't recall off the top of my head if they have that perk in the game or something that doubles up as that. So the BS Recon, hold breath duration while improved rechamber stabilization, aiming speed, sprint to fire, flinch resistance. That sounds like an all-around good one and probably a must-have for this one because it gives you all of the rechamber improvement, aiming speed, but there's none of those penalties that some of the other ones have. The XR3 Ion, we're going to have a compensator. Muzzle provides an unparalleled hipfire accuracy. Okay, and then they give you tons of penalties. Probably not worth. Probably not worth. Shadow SK. Steady aim laser upgrade drastically improves sprint to fire time in addition to stronger improvement to hipfire spread in all other states. Now we get the Jaeger 45, which you get a barrel, enhances potential of the Jaeger 45 with a unique barrel that can eliminate enemies with a single headshot. Wow, this improvement to the raw firepower comes at the expense of fire rate, which makes sense. Aiming mobility, handling, and recoil control. That is kind of nuts. We'll have to see. That one makes it more like a hand cannon. The Coda 9, we're going to get a bulk mag, leaning more into submachine gun. Ooh, that could be good. Mobility exchange for weapon swap speed, decreased damage, but significantly improved damage range. Okay, so it's like a buff nerf. And then the Velox 4.7 or 5.7 rather. Short barrel provides a strong improvement in movement speed in addition to stronger improvements in air handling. Improves jumping and handling stability and weapon swap speed. I don't know about that. And then the launchers, no additional prestige attachments as it would make sense. And then we get the gunsmith. So gunsmith details are all there. Nothing crazy. We're going to have just breaking down the stuff that we've kind of become accustomed to in terms of stats, which don't really mean a whole lot. These little bars, it's always better to just toggle the details and you can actually see the actual quantity of the change, like how big the value is actually changing. So overall, I am glad that the attachment thing is not crazy. There'll probably be like 3 or 4 of them that I'll probably recommend, like, yeah, we should probably level up this gun to get this attachment because it does make it good. The leveling, from what we're told, is supposed to be slightly faster than we had in BO6, which didn't take that long. Most guns on average were max leveled within 3 hours. If you have double XP, about an hour and a half. If you're on the more top end skill level, I think. So we'll see where it goes. We still got a week out. I'm sure they're going to be dropping more information. We'll see you on the next one. Thank you for watching. As always, have a great day.